interrupt this program for a special report from our WPC news desk. We've just been informed that a large avalanche has occurred in the Indian Head Wilderness area. Forest Ranger officials assure us the slide occurred in a non-populated area, restricted both to hikers and cross-country skiers. Because it is a posted area, ranger officials do not anticipate finding many, if any, victims. However, search teams have been deployed in the area on the outside chance overnight campers wandered into the area unknowingly. Word is, the going's been tough due to the heavy snowfall and increasing winds in the area. And ranger officials say it could be several days before an accurate assessment of the damage can be made. Once again, an avalanche has occurred in an unpopulated section of the Indian Head Wilderness area. More details to follow in our noonday news. Now, back to music.
You heard?
Wouldn't worry about it. I mean, they did say it was a restricted area.
Yeah, but you know Luke. No sign is going to stop him.
Hey, look. Luke's a tenderfoot. I doubt he even got close to the signs. Wilderness area means no maps, no tracks, no trails, in short, no access.
But that doesn't mean he couldn't find a way in.
Look, you know what I think? He's probably found himself a nice little cozy cabin somewhere in front of a roaring fire and is probably at this point, as we speak, consuming an indecent amount of good brandy.
But there's still the chance that...
The odds are 10 to 1 against it.
I suppose.
You're still worried, though, aren't you?
If there's even a slight chance, I have to know about it.
Would you like me to call?
Who?
The ranger station. Yes, the number of the Indian Head Wilderness Area Ranger Station. Fine, thank you. Look, if anybody can let us know what the hell's... What? Sure. Yeah? Right. Thank you. You know what my thinking is? That guy is stuck in some cozy cabin somewhere. Hello? Look, I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, we're on a radio interconnect. Go ahead. You're talking to Chief Ranger Haverford.
Yes, look, Chief, my name's Robert Scorpio. I'm calling from Port Charles, New York. We've just heard about this avalanche. Now, look, a friend of mine, Luke Spencer. Now, he may have been in the area, Chief.
Say again?
A friend of mine may have been up there. The avalanche, you know that?
Well, look, if he was in the area, it was unlawful.
Look, I realize that. But I was wondering if there was some way that maybe I could come up and join in the search.
Are you affiliated with the mountain rescue team?
No, sir, I'm not. But
then you stay right where you are. The last thing we need up here are a bunch of amateurs wandering around looking for friends. Most probably you'd end up lost or injured yourself.
Yeah, but look,
Our search teams will find your friend. You just stay by your radio, okay? We'll be issuing news bulletins periodically.
Now, look, this guy's name. His name is Luke Spencer.
I'm sorry, we're losing the signal.
Spencer! Luke Spencer!
Just stay by your radio.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
What happened? What happened?
Line went out.
Well, what did they know about Luke?
Well, apparently not.
Well, what about us going up there?
They said we'd only be in the way, but they will issue regular bulletins to the press.
Well, I don't care. I want to go anyway.
Leave it to the rangers, the people that know what they're doing in it. Look, if he's out there, if he's lost...
Or hurt!
Please, Holly. Let's leave it to the people that know what they're doing, the forest rangers. Hey, baby, come on. Yeah, I know. But worried myself.
I guess I should have called.
Well, that's all right, love. We'll just...
I saw it.
Oh.
And I'm sorry. I should have knocked or something.
Forget it, Jackie. I was just leaving.
Well, not for...
No, I'm going below.
Look, wait a minute. Look, I'll make some calls, and I'll get some details for you, and clear this whole thing up.
Thanks. Excuse me.
I guess she's still mad.
Well, I wouldn't blame her. I mean, let's face it, you gave her both barrels.
That's why I'm here.
Reloaded, huh? Ready for the second assault.
No, Robert, I came to apologize.
Well, if that's the truth, you're talking to the wrong person.
Why? Can't I apologize to you, too?
Why bother? Done nothing to me.
Apparently, I have. You won't even look at me.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot in my mind at the moment.
Well, I guess it was too much to hope for.
What?
I just thought you might be mildly pleased that I was sorry for what I had said.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to get the condition of the roads into the Indian Head Wilderness area. Yeah, sure, I'll hold.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, and I'm mildly pleased.
It was just anger and jealousy. Anyway, what is this about the Indian Head Wilderness?
There's been some sort of an avalanche up there. There's a possibility Luke might have been caught in it. Yeah, sure, I'm still here. I see. No routes open at all? Well, when do you expect this to clear? No. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, look, I'll try again later. Thank you.
So, what are we going to do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's no routes open. They don't even expect to start road clearing until the weather lifts.
I was talking about our relationship.
Jackie, I've heard but perhaps 2 words you've said.
That's because you do not listen to me unless it's something that you want to hear.
No, I'm not listening because I got more important things to think about aside from your bloody domestic problems.
They are our problems.
They're your problems. I have more important things to think about.
Then fine, don't listen to my problems. Don't care.
Where's Jackie?
She left.
Another argument?
What else?
By any chance, was the subject me again?
Let's put it this way. The subject could have been dog collars, but we would have fought in any case. There is just something about our personalities. It's a bit like a pit bull meeting a mastiff on a dark street. They are obligated to fight.
I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Love, whatever happens between Jackie and me has nothing to do with you. I mean, I wish I could blame you for it. You, or the weather, or state of the economy, or the tides, but I can't.
It's such a waste, though. You make too good a couple.
Outwardly, perhaps. But it's becoming apparent that our values are light years apart. Look, all Jackie wants is a split level in suburbia and a station wagon with cruise control.
And you?
Well, I don't know what I want.
Maybe that's your problem.
The problem is that Jackie wants to complete our relationship by settling down. Now, I, on the other hand, would like to keep it a little more open on a less restrictive basis.
That's not going to be easy to overcome.
Tell me about it.
Anything I can do?
Yep, exactly what I'm doing. Stop worrying. We have something else to concern us at the moment.
Well, I've thought about it, and I can't stay here. I don't care what the danger is, but I'm going to go and look for Luke.
Look, I'd come to the same conclusion myself until I called the State Patrol. Now, all roads into that area are closed.
Oh, for how long?
Till the weather lifts.
And there's nothing we can do in the meantime?
Well, I've got a job to do for the quartermains. That shouldn't take too long. I'll still be able to stay in touch with the State Patrol.
And what should I do?
Wait.
I can't. I'll go crazy.
What about this job you're supposed to be finding?
Oh, I suppose so.
Holly, he's going to be all right. Nothing as inconsequential as an avalanche is going to get in his way.
He's still human.
Yeah, wait a minute. You ever hear that story about cats and 9 lives?
Yeah, what number is Luke up to?
There's a calculator here somewhere. Hang on.
Have you heard the news? There's been an avalanche someplace near
Indian Head Wilderness area.
You've heard something. Luke's there. Something's happened to him.
No, nothing's happened. We don't even know he was anywhere near there.
I called the forest rangers. They've never heard of him, love.
It's just the kind of mess he always gets himself into.
Listen to me, Ruby. He's probably sitting in front of a fireplace with a glass of wine.
More likely a quart of brandy.
You think so?
I'm sure of it.
It's just when I heard the radio, I went crazy.
I know. Well, we all thought the same thing. But if you sit down and really think about it, you'll see how slim the chances are that he was involved.
But it's always the kind of thing Luke gets himself mixed up in.
Well, until we hear anything from the contrary, I'm going to assume that he's okay.
Listen, to change the subject here, we were actually, talking about getting Holly a job.
Well, unless you want to scrub floors, I don't think I can be of any help.
Well, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
Oh, save your back. You may need it someday. Hey, come to think of it,
Dan is looking for a liaison, a patient liaison, something, whatever it is. Do you think you'd be interested?
Why, hey, that's certainly worth a shot.
Well, what about the qualifications? I mean...
Listen, Ruby, how quick could you set this up?
How about right now? I mean, if you're not too busy, why don't you come with me and go back to the hospital and see him?
Well, what if...
Listen, I will stay in touch with the ranger station. Now, you go over and talk to Dan about this job. It could be just what you need to keep your mind off Luke.
I can only tell you what I saw, Dan. A woman that can only be described as making a marvelous, incredible recovery.
To the chagrin of some, right?
Well, if you're referring to Scotty Baldwin, I think you're wrong.
Oh, come on, Mark. Everybody knows he married her so he could get his hands on that money.
Well, I thought so, too, but you haven't seen Susan. She gives all the signs of being a happy, healthy woman.
Oh, that doesn't make Scotty happy, too.
Well, he's attentive, he's concerned, he seems to be the ideal husband.
He's fooled people before.
He seems sincere.
Seeming and being are two different things.
Well, Dan, it doesn't sound like you're going to give him much of a chance, does it?
Scotty's had plenty of chances. Ever since he got back into town, people have been bending over backward. And he's thrown it right in their faces. Now this new business of his has more than a few people worried.
What? That's not legitimate?
Oh, it's legitimate, all right. But it's the way he walks that close legal line that bothers me. You've heard the saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the kind of time-bomb Baldwin is. If he gets too much power, he's going to be a threat to this town.
Well, I'm sorry, Dan, but I don't get that impression.
Well, you keep watching him, Mark. You'll see what I mean.
Well, I'll keep watching Susan. As long as she's happy and she's getting better, I'll be satisfied.
Come in.
Oh, you're busy. I'll come back later.
No, that's all right. Mark and I were just shooting the breeze.
I brought somebody with me.
Hello, Holly.
Hi, how are you both?
Busy as usual. You hear anything from Luke?
No.
Well, what about the Avalanche?
We haven't had any word one way or the other. But Robert thinks it's pretty unlikely that Luke was in the area at the time.
We're hoping that he's in a cabin somewhere riding out the storm.
That sounds like Luke.
Well, let me know if you hear anything, please.
Yes, I will.
You'll have those research estimates on your desk by 3. Doctor promises, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Bye.
Look, why don't you ladies sit down and tell me what's on your mind?
Well, I gotta get back and go to work. But Holly wanted to talk to you about that liaison job you were mentioning.
Are you interested in that?
Oh, she sure is.
Well, maybe we can see about doing something about it.
See, I told you he'd come through. Stop by and see me before you leave, okay?
Thanks, Ruby.
Have you got a lunch date?
No, but you have right now.
12:30, cafeteria.
Okay.
Bye. Good luck, honey.
Bye, Ruby. Please, sit down. Has Ruby told you anything about the job?
Not much, I'm afraid.
Well, it's called patient liaison. It means meeting new patients, putting them generally at ease, explaining hospital procedures to them, the different positions in the hospital, explaining their insurance if that's what's needed. In other words, anything and everything that'll make a patient happy.
Sounds a bit like public relations. What qualifications would I need?
Charm, patience, warm heart, and an easygoing manner.
So I wouldn't need a degree or any doctorates or anything?
No, all you need is the right personality. And you certainly seem to have that.
Then great. Where do I sign up?
I wish it were that easy. You may be perfect for the job, Holly, but we both know that there are obvious drawbacks to hiring you.
So, the drawbacks being whether the staff and patients will be willing to accept me after the swindle.
That is the farthest thing from my mind.
Well, it must be a consideration.
Well, I'm willing to overlook it if you are.
So what are the drawbacks?
Your lack of experience.
But before you said that...
You have the raw materials, but not the training.
Oh, so in other words, I don't have the job.
Did I say that? All I'm saying is that the board wants someone experienced. Now, if I'm willing to take the responsibility for your training, perhaps I can convince them.
Would you?
Of course.
Well, it won't be easy if they start talking about the swindle.
What are you trying to do, weasel out of this? That oil swindle was over the day that Luke and Robert returned the money.
There was my arrest.
And your acquittal.
And the newspaper stories?
Just stories. What's left of them is all at the bottom of bird cages.
Well, if you're sure it wouldn't be too much embarrassment to you.
Let me worry about that. I'm the boss, right?
You are now.
Excited?
Yes, I suppose so. It seems to be lost under my nervousness, though.
Oh, that'll go away.
I'm afraid not until Luke gets back.
Listen, when he hears that you've got this job, he's going to be very proud.
I want him to see how serious I am about making Port Charles my permanent home.
That's the plan now, is it?
I could never live anywhere else. I've made some friends here. They've been very kind to me, and they've supported me and helped me. I could never turn my back on them or Luke.